Dear ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and esteemed participants, greetings and a warm welcome from Stuttgart. We, the state of Baden-Württemberg, are very pleased to once again host the German-American Trade and Tech Conference at our state representation in Berlin. This event underscores the importance of dialogue and exchange between our two nations on trade and economic cooperation. Despite the ongoing global economic challenges and shifts in trade policies under the new US administration, the US remains Baden-Württemberg's most important trade and economic partner. In 2024, Baden-Württemberg exported goods worth 34.8 billion euros to and imported goods worth 18.3 billion euros from the US. Besides trade relations, Baden-Württemberg companies are for decades deeply committed to the United States, especially in the manufacturing sector, where they have made significant investments in the last years. For example, is Bosch investing over $1.5 billion in a new chip production plant in California. This and the commitment from several other companies is contributing substantially to job creation and economic growth in both our regions. German companies operating in the US are not only key players in high-quality production, but also vital contributors to local communities and innovation ecosystems. At a time when global trade faces unprecedented challenges, including geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions, it's essential that we reinforce open and fair international trade rules. Strengthening the global trading system benefits both sides of the Atlantic and promotes economic stability and prosperity. Let me make one more point. Baden-Württemberg supports a negotiated solution to the trade conflict between the USA and the EU through all channels. I'm convinced that both countries will benefit from lower tariffs and free trade. The transatlantic partnership between Germany and the US remains a cornerstone for global trade and economic cooperation. By working together, we can help shape a resilient and sustainable future for international commerce. Today's conference is an important platform to reaffirm our shared commitment to these goals and to foster new opportunities for collaboration and growth. Thank you for being part of this significant transatlantic dialogue. I wish you a productive exchange and inspiring discussions.
Give her a big applause. The start was a little abrupt, I have to say. But you know how it sometimes goes. We can't wait until to jump into our conference. So this was Nicole Hofmeister-Kraut, the Minister of Economic Affairs, Labor and Tourism of the state of Baden-Württemberg. I'm Stormy Mildner. If you don't know me, I'm the director of the Aspen Institute Germany, and I will be your tour guide today and tomorrow for our German-American Trade and Tech Conference. So welcome everybody here on site and also virtually joining us for our third flagship conference on US and German economic matters. And I'm really happy to see so many of you here today and also to see such a young crowd. And I know that we face tremendous competition this week. It's the second week the Bundestag really is in session, so the Bundestag has a lot to do. It's the Tag der Deutschen Industrie. It's, I heard, Bitkom summer reception, and not least, it's NATO summit today and also tomorrow, with a lot of important decisions to make. And you decided to be here. So thank you very, very much for coming to our, I think, really exciting conference. Every morning when we open the newspapers, Some of us do it when we are still in bed. Some of us first get up and get a coffee to get ready to open the newspapers. Something is happening in the world. And some of this is good and some of this is not so good. And we are here to talk about the good and the ugly. And we are also here to listen a little bit, to exchange ideas, to learn, and also to develop some ideas and solutions. Before we start to delve into the issues, just a couple of housekeeping rules. So if you need help with whatever you do, just let our team know. We have a wonderful team on the ground. Maybe a team can wave so that everybody sees them. All right, so these are the ones you just have to address, and they help you with whatever you need. There is a coat rack downstairs. There are also bathrooms, restrooms. They are also downstairs. And what is also very important, this is open to the press. So everything can be reported, but we will have one panel later on today, a 101 discussion, which will be under Chatham House rules. And I'm going to announce that, and I would like to ask then everybody to comply to the Chatham House rules. And I'm looking around. You're just going to nod now. So thank you very much for that as well. To get us a little bit into the mood, my team has also prepared a little video, and we are going to watch it. So film up.
Welcome to the German-American Trade and Tech Dialogue 2024 to 2025, a dialogue forum organized by the Aspen Institute Germany to foster trust and understanding between German and US American leaders from politics, government, industry, academia, and civil society. The German-American Trade and Tech Dialogue cultivates meaningful connections through 3 digital workshops and an annual hybrid conference focused on critical transatlantic issues that are essential to advancing shared democratic values. In an era of rapid technological change, geopolitical developments, and shifting economic interests, US, EU, and German policymakers must align priorities on both sides of the Atlantic to develop coherent solutions to today's pressing issues, such as supply chain security, technology governance, cybersecurity, and climate change. Join leaders from government, business, and civil society at the German-American Trade and Tech Dialogue to address today's most pressing challenges and open doors to a resilient, prosperous future.
Great, thank you very much to my team for putting this together. And if you are interested to also participate in our dialogue workshops, which are actually under Chatham House, just let us know and sign up to them, and then we are happy to see you there as well. Such a conference would not be possible without our strong supporters. So I would like to thank all the partners who made this possible. First and foremost, the Landesvertretung Baden-Württemberg. And when I came into the building today, I saw the slogan, "Nett hier," and I can only agree, it's nett here. And we always come for the Maultaschen as well. But also thank you so much for the hospitality and the great team. Give the Landesvertretung a big applause. They're really fantastic in what they do. I also want to thank all those who chipped in, both financially but also with their knowledge, supporting us. And you see them all down there. Those are all our partners. So thank you so much to the US Embassy for being such a strong partner over the last years, not for the first time, but continuously. To Meta, Microsoft, Auma, the Friedrich Naumann Stiftung, Bosch, UPS, BDLI, DIN, DIN, DEKRA, Evonik, the Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, and Infineon. And why we love so much working with you is because you bring in a lot of input. So many of you are going to sit on some of our panels, are going to participate in our Oxford-style debate, where two teams are competing with each other, or are going to join us in our breakout sessions, where we have an open chair format, so that you as an audience can change sides, hop onto the stage and join the panelists in their discussion. So you see, we are trying also to be as interactive as possible. I also want to thank our media partners. Thank you so much to Internationale Politik Quarterly and to Politico. If you want to skip over reading papers in the morning, the Politico briefing from Berlin is also really worth listening into. A fantastic overview of what's happening in Berlin. On the one hand side, really deeply rooted in a strong economic relationship, with lots of companies being active on both sides of the Atlantic, also creating jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, but also through networks and our shared values. For example, my journey started when I was 16 in a high school in Illinois, in Farmer City, and I would not be here without this experience. So what I would like to do, just a couple of minutes, turn around, talk to your neighbor, and ask them how they started their journey with the United States. So start chatting. All right, and with this, I pull back your attention. So we need the little bell, I think, a little bit of help. All right. I know that this is always a fun part. And when I tell the team that I want to do it, they're always saying, oh my God, do you really want to do this? And I said, yeah, I want to do this. Because we also then have ample of opportunity to keep on that energy and the chatting. And I love the energy in the room later on in the many coffee breaks, because that was one of the lessons learned from last year, build in enough coffee breaks to really also allow the networking. What's very, you know Aspen, you know our style. We're a little bit more informal. We like to call each other by first names. We like to bring up the energy, but we also like to foster conversations, hard conversations, also among people who might not necessarily talk with each other, or if they talk, not always in a civil way. So what we want to do is getting to talk to each other, engaging, but really also listening to each other. And what we always say is it takes practice to listen, right? To listen in an active way. Because a lot of times, and just watch yourself, we are already formulating our counter-argument in our head while the other person is still talking. What I hope is that we are going to listen actively to each other, respectfully, maybe agree or disagree, and then move forward finding solutions. To get us a little into the topics now, the team has also prepared three questions we would like to ask you. This is when we get technological, so let's see if that is going to work. So we prepared a Slido questionnaire. So this is your barcode, and we are going to ask three questions, and we are looking forward to your answers. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to, and if the barcode doesn't work, you can also go on Slido and type in the numbers, then you should also get there. And by the way, also, I should have said that when we talked about the housekeeping, this is also interesting, the Wi-Fi and the password. So Molly, are we ready to show the questions? No, we have to go back one time. Not everybody was ready yet with a barcode. So going back one more time. Yeah, perfect. So, and you know how our team is very international. We have one of our colleagues in the digital team. She comes from Australia. So we all started to say, okie dokie. And with this, we move to the first question, which goes, how would you rate the current state of transatlantic relations? And we are going to wait a little bit. And then we are seeing immediately the replies and the results. And Molly, you're just going to give me the thumbs up when we are showing the results. Okay, looks like we are ready to go. Okay, so what are we seeing here? Ooh, Oh, I think we have to talk. Like in every good relationship, this, I think, would be a sign of we need to sit together and talk. So the majority of you, unfortunately, says it's poor. Quite a few of you, it's fair. But there are also some who say it is good, which is good. I can't see if somebody is saying it's excellent. Molly, is somebody saying it's excellent? No, one person. All right, we need to single out that one person and and get their opinion on this later on. So we move to the next question. We are going to show this as well, but I'm already going to read it to you. What do you consider the most pressing trade and technology issue currently impacting the transatlantic relationship? Let's see how that goes. Give you again a little bit of time to think about. Oh, and no need to stand there in the back. There are also some wonderful spaces up here in the front, and they are always the ones which offer a lot of leg space. So, yeah. So I just need those two, but there's also some over there. All right, so we are showing the results, and I can see that most of you think that the most pertinent issue to deal with, and it's still moving a little bit, but I think the result is pretty clear. Trade tensions over industrial policy subsidies and green tech competition. Quite a few think it's diverging regulatory approaches to digital governance and data protection, dependence on third countries for critical materials and technologies, and some of you are also thinking export controls, investment screening, and I'm very happy that all those topics are on our agenda. And with this, we move to the third question we would like to ask you, and it reads, how do you envision the development of transatlantic trade and technology relations 1 year from now? So will it be better, the same, or what do you expect? I'll give you again a few minutes. All right. So the majority says unchanged, still moving a little bit. But there are quite a few who are also saying slightly improved. That's good. That's good. We have a positive outlook to the transatlantic relationship. But quite a few are also saying slightly worsened. And unfortunately, also some believe significantly worsened. And some are thinking significant, oh, that's a hard word. So very improved. So this gives us a good impression of what you think about the transatlantic relationship. And over the next, today and tomorrow, we have a lot of opportunity to talk about this. We also want to hear about what the next generation, not like me, the oldies, are thinking about the transatlantic relationship, but those who are just picking up and taking over. So could I ask our young transatlanticists maybe to come up to the stage with me just very quickly? Yeah, we said that I would come downstairs, but maybe we give you also and maybe all of you could come up here. Ah, don't be shy. I know.
The same organization.
I know.
Maybe the other ones want to come forward.
Yeah, so come on up here. Yeah, great. All right, so I just quickly need the mic and just I'm going to take this one and it is on. So if I may just briefly ask you, could you say who you are and who you represent?
I'm Joseph Hebeda from the Academic Association for Security Studies, and I'm the chairman of this organization.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Lena Strauss. I'm also from the Academic Association for Security Studies, and I'm appointee of our board.
Hello, I'm David Müller. I'm from the Junge DGAP.
I'm Leo Bader. I'm a program assistant here at Aspen.
Yeah, all right. So, what do you, well, what do you think about the transatlantic relationship and where does it go?
Well, we are in times of challenges, and what worries me, of course, in the United States is the situation where democracy, free trade, and all of this is in question. But a point that worries me the most is rather how we in Europe deal with it in a way that we are very easily willing to walk away when something from Washington is coming, like demands or proposal for changes or reforms, not valuing, in my perception at least, what we have reached in 70 years of our history, but rather using this as an excuse to walk away. So having a look forward, I'd say we should think about working closer together as allies to find solutions together, although it is quite difficult, especially in these times, but it is worth doing it. And I think also, looking at the challenges we have currently, it is the best and probably the only way we have.
Thank you very much. I can only agree. As many of us know, Germany is celebrating 70 years of partnership in NATO this year. I think it's a very important event, and we should use that to rethink the word ally and what ally especially means in that context, and how we can work on moving together again. And I know that there are many differences and challenges we are facing as partners and allies within the transatlantic community, but I think we should rethink how we are working together and move closer back together, as Mr. Hebeda said in that context.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, but I would like to add that our generation today faces other issues than the generations 30 or 60 years ago. Today we talk about AI governance, about cyber threats, about climate change. And I think we were most successful in our transatlantic relationship when we didn't see ourselves as competitors, but as more like colleagues, and we work together on finding solutions for our problems.
I think there are a lot of acute challenges right now that have emerged over the past 6 months, obviously, but I think a lot of these challenges go back to differences that have not emerged in the past 6 months, different approaches to security, different approaches to regulation, and I think in trying to find ways to cooperate and move forward on these issues, it's important to be aware of national differences as well, and the fact that there's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all approach for a relationship that includes over 30 countries. And so I think it's important to both look to how we can cooperate and align ourselves, but also how we can do that in a way that preserves national legitimacy in every country.
Thank you very, very much. Give them a big applause. And thank you for joining me up here. Thank you so much. So it didn't feel so lonely up here. And you will have ample of opportunity to meet more of our young transatlantic partners. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Alan Meltzer to you, the Charge d'Affaires from the US Embassy. You all know Alan because he's the heart and soul of the transatlantic relationship here in Berlin. We are so lucky to have you in Berlin. You as a person also supporting our Aspen initiative, and for keeping the spirit and the dynamics going. Alan, thank you so much for being with us today. The floor is yours.